What is up, guys? Welcome back to another fantasy football video. This video I was just going to do a second draft of my Champions League fantasy football team because my first draft I didn't really know what I was doing, so I've had some chance to kind of research some of the teams and research some of the stats. So it's only been one game, so it's not that accurate, but I figured it's better off just doing like a quick summary of my team and kind of why I've chosen my players. So let's just get started on that. Okay, so the first thing that I didn't realise about Champions League fantasy football is that it's similar format to Euro fantasy football where your bench players can be substituted in. So I've changed my bench completely to players who can actually like get me points, but also I think the captaincy is also the same. So if my captain doesn't score points on the 28th of September, which if you just look at the dates, there's two games. So all my players starting at the moment are 28th, apart from Lewandowski, and the rest of them on my bench are 29th. So if anyone doesn't score points, I can sub them in. I think that's how it works. So, but we'll find out on that. We'll find out tonight. And then I think it's the same with captaincy. So if my captain doesn't score points on the 28th of September, then I can change it to a captain on the 29th of September. The only downside is that I've not really got a great captain for the 29th of September. So that may have to change. Is that I may have to find a forward who actually no, that's a lie. I've got Lewandowski, so yeah, so it can change my captain from Haaland to Lewandowski if Haaland doesn't get points maybe. But yeah, let's just run through my team really quickly. Let's just start off with the sub goalkeeper. Okay, so this guy I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I went with him just because of it's just a chance pick really. I mean, he's probably not going to keep a clean sheet against Barcelona, but I needed a 4.5 goalkeeper. And the stats, I mean, the stats really say much about this guy. He was just kind of like a wild card pick, is that I needed a second goalkeeper who's going to start. I could probably change him to someone more useful because Barcelona will probably score a goal, although their stats were pretty bad against in their first match. So yeah, so not much to say about this guy. Sandro, I think this could be a lot can be said about Sandro. He's very, very attacking. I think he's attacking left back. I don't know too much about it, but he's very, very attacking is what I do know. Granted, he is playing Chelsea, so it's probably not the easiest fixture. But he does have Zenit and Malmo in the fixtures later on, so worth keeping him and worth having him in your team. 5.5 million, so it's like pretty. Not. I think that's actually all right considering if he's as attacking as I think he might be. I think he did get a goal in the first game. Yeah, he got a goal, so I think he's probably still worth it. And Juventus are a pretty good team, so yeah, I've gone with Sandro. Sucic. Okay, so Sucic, I actually looked. So if we just look at the stats quickly, Sucic has 4 shots per game and 4 key passes per game. So he's only been one game, but during that game, I think it was against. It must have been against. Was it Man City? It may have been against Man City or someone. I'm not too sure to be honest, but yeah, that's pretty good stats. I mean, for 5.5 million, that's really good. So I've put him on my team. So it wasn't against Man City. It was against Sevilla. So against Sevilla, he got 4 key passes and 4 shots 4 shots on target, which is really good. So I thought I'd put him on my team because he's only 5.5 million. So he got 1 goal scored. He's also on penalties. Didn't know that he did miss the penalty, but still, he just seems like a pretty well-rounded midfielder. Jesus Navas, I think this guy's pretty old now, but he's been in a lot of different teams. But yeah, he seems to have pretty good fixtures. I think that, from what I can tell, Wolfsburg, Lille, and Salzburg are not like amazing teams. But the reason I chose him was just because I think Sevilla have got a good fixture against Wolfsburg, and also he's likely to get up and down the left side. He's a left back, I think, so he could be getting an assist and as well as a clean sheet. So that's why I've gone with Navas. Oblak, I think Atletico are like one of the most solid teams defensively. If you just look at their team statistics. So defensively, slightly better than Young Boys, Lille, and slightly better than Young Boys and Lille, but Atletico just seemed like a pretty good defensive team, so I went with him. He's got AC Milan, which is a pretty good fixture, but then he's got Liverpool, not the best fixture, but you know what, like, I feel like he'll probably get saved. He's just a really talented goalkeeper as well. Pretty expensive, but But yeah, I thought I'd go with Jan Oblak. Okay, moving on to Cancelo. Cancelo kind of speaks for himself. I'm familiar with Cancelo from the Premier League. He is just a really, really attacking left back or right back. He can play both. And he's just very, very attacking. He can get assists, can get goals. So it's just a no-brainer for me. They've got a decent group. Man City. It's not the easiest, though, I'll be honest. Like PSG and Club Brugge are actually a decent side, so they've had their best. Match so far, I think, against Leipzig. I think that the next few matches are probably going to be quite hard. So I've not gone too heavy on Man City. I've just gone for Cancelo. That may even change, to be honest, but we'll see how they do. Then there's this guy, Noah Lang. Okay, this guy is like, I think he might be a breakout star, because looking at his stats, I mean, let's just quickly jump to the first page. He's got 6 shots per game for a 6.5 midfielder. I don't know how that's possible. But 6 shots per game is pretty damn good. 1 key pass and 5 dribbles. So that's a sign that he's actually really, really good. He's only 22 years old as well. Like that's pretty crazy. But yeah, like I think that this guy could be a bit of a breakout star. And Club Brugge, they've not got the easiest fixtures. Like, well, they do up next because they've got Leipzig, but Man City and PSG obviously not the easiest fixtures. But I think that he could do really well. So I've gone with him because he could be a breakout star. We'll see how he does though. Gravenberch, I don't know too much about this guy. He's playing Besiktas, that's how I pronounce it. But, I mean, Ajax seem to be a decent team, and I think this guy was somewhere around the... Let's have a look. He may not have been. No, so I think I went with him because when I was looking at the... I wanted a player from Ajax, and when I was looking at the live text, he seemed to be the one that was most involved in that game in terms of creating chances. So, and also he's quite cheap at 6 million. So, I thought I'd go with this guy, see how he does. He could be a breakout star, but just quickly looking at the position that he plays as well. I think he plays in kind of like an attacking midfielder spot. So let's just quickly have a look. Oh no, so he plays in more like a number 8 role. But still, I mean, he could get a goal. I mean, I couldn't find Tadic as a midfielder. In fact, let's just quickly have a look, see if Tadic is about. Because I may try and get Tadic instead. I'm still not unfamiliar with this, so how do I even make transfers? Cancel the substitution first, that might help. Make transfers. Let's have a look at Ajax's midfield because I'm not too confident on Gravenberch, but still, like, yeah, so he plays at number 8 basically. But I do like Tadic was also a really good player, but I have a feeling he's classed as a forward. Yeah, so he's classed as a forward. That's the problem. So if he was classed as a midfielder, I would get him, but he's not. He's classed as a forward. So I've gone with Gravenberch because he's the only midfielder classed as a midfielder basically. But also he could get some decent points. So yeah, I've gone with Gravenberch. Not too confident on that though. My midfield probably needs some work, to be honest. But I've kind of gone with the strategy of going heavy up top and having a strong bench to rotate, because midfield, you never know, you could get some budget players in there who do really well. Next up, I've gone with Jeffrey Kondogbia. I think that's how I pronounce it. But yeah, I think that Atletico probably won't get loads of goals, but he's 5 million and I needed a budget midfielder. So he's my budget midfielder. I have no idea how I'll do, to be honest. I don't know too much information about him. But Atletico seem like a decent team. Let's just see if he's starting. I think he is starting as well. I didn't actually research what position he was playing in. But I have a feeling he will probably do okay, given he's already got a goal. But you never know with that. That could be misleading. So, no, you didn't even start. So that could go horribly wrong. Let's just have a look at, against Porto. So he started against Porto. Well, he must have got a goal against Porto at least. Okay, so he's actually a defensive midfielder. I didn't even know that, which is pretty bad. So he's probably going to change out the team. So I think before the end of today, I'm probably going to change Gravenberch and Kondogbia because he got a goal, but he's a defensive midfielder, so he's probably not going to do well. If I'd known that, I probably wouldn't have put him in my team. But yeah, okay, so then we've got Jude Bellingham. He kind of speaks for himself. Like, they're playing Sporting. Really good, he's a really good youngster. He'll probably get goals and assists. Like, he's already got off to a really good start. He's got 1 assist, 1 goal, 4 balls recovered. Like, he's just a really good, he's a really good player. So, and the Sporting are not the best team. So yeah. And then we've got Lewandowski. Again, Lewandowski kind of speaks for himself, but they're playing Dynamo Kiev. I fancy them to do really well in that game and probably get quite a few goals. He's also a captaincy option in the second day, so I've gone with Lewandowski. And I think from what I can see, Benfica, I don't know, I'll have to look at the stats on Benfica, but they might also be a good fixture as well, so we'll have to double check that though. So Lewandowski, expensive, but he's a captaincy option and relatively lowly owned. So Junior, he's a bit of a left field pick. He's playing Sheriff. Now I have no idea how Sheriff are, but like they seem like quite a new team. I don't even know where their team's from. But yeah, I mean, this guy plays on the left wing, I think, of Real Madrid. So he's young, up and coming. So I've put him in because I feel like he could probably get me some points. And like, I don't know, he just seems like if he's young and upcoming, he could be quite an explosive player. So I've put him in there. I have no idea how he'll do, but we'll see how it goes. And then finally, obviously, we've got Erling Haaland. This guy is just like an absolute machine. I think most people know him anyway. He's got 58% ownership, so there's not much to explain to do here. The only doubt is that he might be injured, but he's highly likely to start next game. So I guess, he's my captain for now. And they've got a really good fixture against Sporting, and also they've got Ajax and who is that? I'm not sure. Besiktas. Okay, so they've got a decent group as well. So I think the Haaland is like kind of an obvious pick. But yeah, so that's a summary of my team. And the main changes are just basically a stronger bench because I didn't realise you could substitute similar to Euro Fantasy Football, and also the change in captaincy. So I've gone with Lewandowski instead because he's got a better fixture than Ronaldo, and also because he starts on the 29th of September, so I can change captaincy. At least I think that's how it works. But yeah, that's the summary of my team. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'm putting out another video on teams to target for fantasy football, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I think probably put out tomorrow, but that'll be basically just covering which teams to target for the next 7 to 12 fixtures, and you can decide on the players yourself, but the main point is that it's the team that you want to target as well.